right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. All right, pretty much we're going to talk about this Assassin's Creed Shadows, this video game here. Now, typically, I wouldn't even talk about this. Wasn't going to do another video on this or anything dealing with the video game industry in general, unless something crazy happens, because honestly, this stuff is beneath me. Personally, it's beneath me. It's just not worth talking about. I already know what the hell's going on. All right, while everybody else is blind and don't know what the hell is going on, they constantly making videos of woke this, woke that, and just all this BS, man. It's redundant and it's a waste of time, man. And it's just the fact that, all right, and at the end of the day, this is not. They didn't say that it was going to create a super historically accurate depiction of Japan or what the story they're trying to tell. As you see here, it says Ubisoft aims to deliver a compelling narrative experience that balances historical authenticity with fictional storytelling. All right, so it's fictional. At the end of the day, this is a video game, okay? Because of the story that they're trying to create, it's not going to be extremely accurate. So them using Yusuke as the main character, but this is a fictional storytelling. Okay, they're not trying to be super accurate. Okay, this is a creation. All right, and I'm not seeing a push of any woke of anything. I'm just not seeing it. Okay, so what I'm gonna show here, all right, is some facts. All right, about this. Okay, now I took a screenshot. All right, and this video here is by the quarting called the quartering, and you can check out his video on this whole game. Uh, but there was a comment. I think this was on Twitter. Okay, it says game set in Italy, play as an Italian man. Game set in France, play as a Frenchman. Game set in America, play as a Native American. But that's not always the case. All right, it's a stupid comment because, all right, we were scattered among all nations. Okay, all right, we were scattered among all people. All right, period. Okay, and I'm gonna prove it. So I'm gonna start with this. All right. So this game takes place in 1579. Okay, right near the what transatlantic slave trade. All right, you can look at the slave trade. When did it start? All right, so it says transatlantic slave trade over the period of Atlantic slave trade up from approximately 1526 to 1876. Okay, men captured, women, children, and you get the whole cabal. Okay, we were scattered among our nations, so let's prove it. Okay, and this whole chapter talks about slavery, man, and all the plagues and the curses, all right, that are upon us, man. Okay, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64. Let's go down here. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods." And what are those other gods? All right, you worshiping a cobblestone. All right, you worshiping Jesus Christ, which is Caesar Borgia. That's a real man. Okay, that's an idol. All right, you're worshiping the cross. You're worshiping Virgin Mary. All right, which is not biblical. Okay, okay, her husband was Joseph. All right, and they bore who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. So so what are you people talking about? All right, and you so-called blacks. All right, talking about, oh, I don't know why they set up a black man as the protagonist in Japan during that time or whatever. But our people were scattered all over the earth. All right, during the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, and then on top of that, it's not hard to believe that the so-called black man or whatever is looked at as a spectacle or being of the greatest warrior. All right, that's in Japan. Okay, that's not hard to believe. Or being the first samurai, that's not hard to believe. They weren't, all right. The so-called Japanese, Chinese, or whatever, they're not the warriors, man. All right, we are. Okay, we're the ones. We're the ultimate warriors. Okay, let's get that. Okay, so just in case y'all don't know, all right, the Israelites are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, according to the Bible, man. All right, we are God's chosen people. Okay, so this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 19. It says the portion of Jacob, all right, and Jacob, all right, if you don't know the scriptures, Jacob, all right, wrestled with the angel, okay, and the Lord changed Jacob's name to Israel. All right, Jacob had 12 sons, which are the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, and that's where we come from. We're the Israelites, okay, we're his descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, from the line of Shem, okay. They're talking about Semitic. No, it's Shemitic, okay. Them so-called fake, you know what, that's down there in Israel today. They're not the people, okay. It says the portion of Jacob is not like them. So we're not like the other nations. It says, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Okay, and it reads here. Let's read on. Verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. It says, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. But hold on, the Christian church says that the Lord don't hate. The Lord don't kill. The Lord don't do this. He don't do that. The Lord does kill. All right. The Lord said he kills. He heals. He makes alive. He wounds. He heals. Okay. Just paraphrasing. All right. So what the hell are you people talking about? All right. I'm seeing these videos. You damn Negroes. All right. Online talking about, oh, I don't know why they're doing that. This is woke. You got a black man set up in Japan. All right. As the first samurai. Well, that's the truth. Okay. All right. The scriptures say that we're the former of all things. Okay. It says, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance, which means what? We belong to the Lord, man. Okay. It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And the Lord is going to destroy America. He's going to destroy all the rest of these kingdoms around the earth. All right. And set up the kingdom of heaven. And we're going to rule next. Okay. And you bootlicking coons that don't want to get down with it, the Lord's going to delete you, man. Okay. And it says, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. All right. And this is coming. This is coming, man. All right. Going into spiritual power. All right. And things like that. I'll mention it a little bit, later on in this lesson. But the point being is that we were scattered among all nations. Okay. All right. The Lord did that. You know why? Because we didn't listen to the Lord. We didn't keep the commandments. Okay. Let's go back up and let's get that. All right. So this is the first verse of Deuteronomy chapter 28. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments, which I have commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. And you idiots talking about, oh, equality. Clearly, that's not true. All right, there's no equality. All right, and that's clear. And especially in America. Okay, or wherever you go. All right, you so-called blacks, Spanish, Native Americans are considered the lowest of the low. Nobody cares about us. Nobody considers us. Nobody cares. Okay? Let's get this, man. All right, so this is Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. You see? So the Lord said that we're a nation not desired, and it's clear. We see that. We know nobody gives a damn about us, man. You see? And it says, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff, which is what talking about the destruction that's coming. The Lord's coming back. All right. And if you haven't separated yourself, all right, from the ways of the world, the Lord's going to destroy you. All right. It says, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Yeah, because the Lord's going to make his second return. All right. You see the prophecies coming to pass, but you people don't know it because you're not paying attention. You don't even know who you are. You still calling yourself black in 2024, man. Meanwhile, you got the prophets on the street corners preaching. Week in, week out for decades. These brothers come out here and they teaching the truth, man. All right, they got the garments on, the border of blue. All right, the fringes. Okay, and let's show you something here for you so-called Native Americans. to prove that you are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Okay, look at the clothing. All right, you see this? You can tell this is our people. All right, you so-called Native Americans. Look what they're wearing, fringes. You see that? That's in the scriptures. Okay, you see that, the fringes. This is our people, man. All right, let's get that. All right, so this is it right here. This is Numbers chapter 15 and verse 38. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue." Okay, fringes. And that's exactly what you're wearing. All right, you so called Native Americans, fringes. Okay, let's go back here. You see, fringes with the border of blue. Okay, that's in the scriptures, man. That's our dress code. Okay, and you see it. It's clear. All right, let's get another one. Okay, check this out right here. This is Revelation chapter 7, verse 5. 12,000 of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. So you're from the tribe of Gad. All right, you Native Americans, you so-called Native Americans. All right, your true nationality are your Hebrew Israelites from the tribe of Gad. Okay, it says whose faces were like the faces of lions, and it's clear. You see it. Okay, it's like a lion. All right, all right, your warriors, man. Okay, so let's get that scripture. First Chronicles chapter 12 and verse we'll start at 8. It says, "And the Gadites," all right, so Gadites, that's you guys, says that there separated themselves unto David into the hold to the wilderness men of might, which meant, well, you're very strong, all right, you're warriors. Okay, and it says to the wilderness. All right, and you can look at this movie, The Last Mohicans. You're in the wilderness, you see? But fighting against these guys, man. Every Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, you went out there, you fighting. You see? Let's read more. Okay, it says, men of might and men of war, fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler. All right, so you were skilled warriors. It says whose faces were like the faces of lions. It says and were as swift as the roes, which is a deer, upon the mountains. You see that? So that's in the scriptures, man. All right, so you're the Israelites. So what the hell are you darn so-called white people talking about, man? You know? But that's just proof. I just want to show proof of, you so-called Native Americans, you're the Israelites, man. And ultimately, we were all scattered among all nations, man. Okay? So let's go back here, man. All right, so it says, and it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently, which means listen. If you listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to do and to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. All right, so that obviously didn't happen. Okay, you know why? Let's go down. Right here. Verse 15, it says, "But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not listen," that's what hearken means. It means listen. "If you don't listen unto the voice of the Lord thy God, all right, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." All right. So obviously we're cursed. You know why? Because you didn't keep his commandments. So the Lord got pissed off and he sent these people to take us down. All right. Edomites, the so-called white man, they're the Edomites according to the Bible. And that includes the other nations. They took part in our captivity too. Okay, so this is verse 16. "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shalt the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, and the increase of thy kin, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out." All right, and that can go into, all right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans traveling. All right, no matter where you go, all right, you always gonna be referred to as a nigger, a spick, a wetback, all right, Uncle Tomahawk, redskins, all right, all these foolish terms. All right, that's what it meant by cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. No matter where you go, that hatred, all right, for the Israelites, it's always gonna be there, man. Okay, all right, and you can read the rest of this chapter. I'm not gonna get too deep into it. All right, but everything that this chapter is speaking about happened to us, and it's still happening clearly. Okay, so let's get this. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." All right, and holy means to be separate, which means what we're different. There's something different about us. Okay, out of all these other nations. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God," which is what our God. Okay, the one true God. All right, it says, "The Lord thy God," all right, which his name is Yahweh. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew. All right, we all spoke Hebrew. Okay, you Native Americans, all the rest of you tribes, you spoke Hebrew. Let's get it. Okay, let's get that pick. All right, just to show this pick. Okay, the 12 tribes of Israel: Judah, so-called Negroes; Benjamin, so-called West Indians; Levi, the so-called Haitians; Simeon, the so-called Dominicans; Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans to Panamanians; Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans; Manasseh, the so-called Cubans; Gad, the so-called North American Indians; Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians; Naphtali, the Argentinians to Chileans; Asher, the so-called Colombians to Uruguayans. It says Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Israelites, God's chosen people. We are the same nation. Okay, we're one people. All right, not different. Okay. All right, so let's go back. All right, so it says, "The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth." And you know, you're the so-called white man come out, "Well, God loves everybody. We're all the same." That's clearly not the case. All right, look at the way you are in society. You have nothing. All right, we don't have nothing. You don't have no power. You don't have no place. All right, to dwell in. You don't have a country. Nothing. All right, we literally don't have nothing. Okay, and I already read the scripture. It said that thou shalt serve thine enemies in want of all things. All right, if you want some water, who do you gotta go to? You gotta go to the other nations for it. All right, mainly the so-called white man. You gotta go to him for water. All right, you want some clothes? You gotta go to him to buy your clothes, man. All right, you want what the so-called education to learn something? What you gotta learn it from him. Okay, so you see. All right, so we're cursed, man. All right, but the Lord is putting us back in order in these last days. Okay, all right, mainly because the guys are out there on the streets preaching. Okay, the Lord is waking us up. All right, and He's going to destroy America. All right, and deliver His elect. Okay, which are the 1/3 and 2/3 of our people gonna die. All right, here in America. All right, and America's going out by nuclear missiles. Okay, that's how it's going out. So, all right, so let's get this. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, "For I think that the Most High have set forth us, the apostles, last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world." All right, you know what a spectacle is? It's something different. All right, the Lord said we're holy, which means separate. All right, let's get that definition of spectacle. It says a visual striking performance or display, an event or scene regarding in terms of visual impact. Okay, what else does it say? Let's get into it. All right, the word spectacle. It says an object of curiosity or contempt. Yeah, so these nations look at us. There's something different about us, man. All right, the way we move. Okay, how we operate is different. Okay, and they don't like us, man. All right, it says something exhibited to view as unusual, notable, or entertaining. Exactly, entertaining. They look at us as entertainment. You see, eye-catching or dramatic public display. And the scripture said we're the greatest people on the earth, man, above all nations. So of course we're gonna be a spectacle. So you find you dumb Negroes, all right, and you Hispanics and Native Americans, you find it hard to believe that a so-called black man that's samurai is looked at as a spectacle to be the main protagonist of this video game. Okay, see, so it's, you don't know nothing, man. All right, you don't know. Okay, so let's read on. It says, "For we are made a spectacle unto the world." It says, "And to the angels and to men." It says, "We are fools for Hamashiach's sake." All right, which you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. All right, his name is Yahweh Shai. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, all right, which is your language. Okay, so we're looked at as fools, man. How are we looked at as fools? When we're out here teaching. All right, they look at us like we're crazy. All right, they call us dresses, not realizing that these are garments, okay, with the border of blue to keep us in remembrance, to keep the commandments, okay, to the best of our ability, okay. We can't keep all of them because we in the flesh, but what we have to do the best we can. So when the Lord comes back and he finds us doing well, then what? He's going to deliver us, and we're going to be changed, all right, into God's in our rightful state, okay. But anyway, all right, so this is Psalms chapter 144 and verse 1. It says, "A psalm of David," well, which is our forefathers, all the prophets in the scriptures, and everybody in these scriptures, all right, which includes the prophets and the Israelites, are our forefathers and foremothers, man. Okay, these are our ancestors. Okay, David. Okay, it says, "Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight." It says, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower and my deliverer, my shield, and he whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me." Okay, Lord, what is man that thou takest knowledge of him, or the sons of man that thou makest account of him? Man is like to vanity. It says his days are as a shadow that passeth away, which I find funny. It's called Assassin's Creed Shadows. All right, but I don't know. Maybe I have to play the game in order to understand that. All right, but the point being is that we were the first warriors. What are you talking about? The Japanese were the samurai and this, that, and the third. No, it was us. Didn't you know that you were the Moors? All right. Did you know that you were the Irish? All right. That's the reason why I call it the Dark Ages. All right, because we were ruling in that time. Okay. All right. Our history goes far further than just Africa, which is not true. That's not where we're from. We're from Israel. Okay. Let's get it. All right. So this is Galatians chapter 4 and verse 26. It says, "But Jerusalem," all right, which is what? It's a people before it's a place. All right. So when it says Jerusalem, or if it says Israel, it's talking about us, man. All right. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So yeah, that's where we're from. Not Africa is not the motherland. Okay. The motherland is Jerusalem, which is what? Israel. So what are you talking about? You, man, before I move on, let's get where the so-called Japanese and Chinese come from. All right, let's get your where you come from. Okay, so this is Genesis chapter 19. All right, and this is verse. So let's read it. So let's go right here. All right, so this is going into Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, Lot. Okay, and he had two daughters. All right. And the angel of the Lord came unto him and told him to flee from Sodom and Gomorrah because he was going to destroy it, send fire from heaven, right? Okay, so this is Genesis chapter 19, verse 24. It says, "Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven." All right, so he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with what? Fire from heaven. It says, "And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities that which grew upon the ground." It says, "But his wife looked back and from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt." All right, so the wife is dead. Okay, so let's go down a little more. All right, so this is going into the daughters. All right, when they escaped. All right, so it says verse 30. We start at verse 31. I mean, verse 30 actually. Salakia. It says, "And Lot went up out of Zor and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him." It says he feared to dwell in Zor, and he dwelt in a cave, and he and his two daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, "Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us," which is what? Sex. Which means they, when the Lord, all right, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, they thought that basically all of man was dead. Okay, so they came up with the idea of sleeping with their father, all right, to bring forth children because they think that there's no other men that's out there. Okay? Just to give you the context. So it says after this man of all the earth, or manner of all the earth, it says, come, let us make our father drink wine. And when we lie with him, which is what sex, it says that we may preserve seed of our fathers. It says, and they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. It says, and he perceived not when she lay down. So he was so drunk and so out of it, he didn't know what was going on. Or it made him drunk. Okay? It says, and it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yester night with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink that wine that night also. And the younger arose and laid with him, and he perceived it not when she lay down. Okay? And it says, thus were both of the daughters of Lot with child by their father. It says, the firstborn bare a son and called his name Moab. All right? So that's you Chinese. That's where you come from. It says, the same is the father of the Moabites. So you're the modern day Moabites unto this day. In 2024, yes, unto this day. And the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Benami. It says, the same is the father of the children of Ammon. All right, the Japanese, unto this day. All right, so the Ammonites and the Moabites, the Japanese and the Chinese, all right, that's your nationality. That's where you come from. And how else do we know that? Let's get it. Okay, and that's the condition, which is what, Down syndrome. Okay, which I'm gonna get a little bit of context here. So it says a genetic disorder with physical growth delays, characteristic facial features, and mild to moderate development and intellectual disability, which also goes into the reason why in Japan and China or whatever, they always pushing education. Okay, because back then it was intellectual disability. Okay, so it says a lifelong condition, blah blah blah. But let's get some facial features. All right, see, this is what Down syndrome look like. Look at the eyes. See the eyes? Okay, you see it. All right, now let's look at them. All right, same thing. Look at the eyes. See? So there you go, Down syndrome. You know why? Because Lot and his two daughters, his two daughters, all right, slept with their father. Okay, and that's where you guys come from. You see? All right, so you're brothers and sisters, Moab and Ammon. All right, in 2024 today. All right, with Down syndrome. Okay? And, all right, that's clear, man. In the scriptures. All right, so let's go back to Psalms chapter 83. Okay, so it says verse 4. Let's read that again. It says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, which is what the Israelites. All right, we're not calling ourselves Israelites no more, but we are now. You know why? Because the Lord is giving us back the knowledge. All right, the Lord sent his Holy Spirit down upon the earth, and now we're teaching. Now we understand who we are. Okay, what, through the prophets, the teachers, man. All right, these are the prophets. Okay, of old, man. All right, so it says they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So all these other nations are against us, man. All right, they're our enemies according to the Bible, man. All right, in Deuteronomy 28, it says thine enemies. Okay, and the number one enemy, let's get it. Verse 6, it says the tabernacles of Edom. Okay, and Edom, all right, you can read that in Genesis, the 25th chapter or earlier, going into Esau, Edom. All right, that's the so-called white man. All right, Edom. All right, the progenitors of the so-called white race, and they're called the Edomites. All right, that's their true biblical nationality, and they're not white. They're red. Okay, that's pseudo words that they use, man. All right, calling themselves white. When you look up the definition of the word white, it means pure, innocent. Okay, which obviously isn't the case. When you look up the word black, what does that go into? Evil, dirty. Okay, so it's a pseudo of words that they put upon us. All right, and put upon themselves to make themselves look like they're above you. All right, and that's not the case. So it says the tabernacles of Edom, which is so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, the Moabites, so-called Chinese, the Hagarenes, the Gebal, and Ammon, all right, the so-called Japanese, Amalek, the so-called fake Jews that's down there in Israel today. They're the head tribe of Esau Edom, all right, and they're Edomites, okay. Edom and Amalek, they're Edomites, man, okay. And Amalek is ruling, all right, in this society, all right. They control the medical industry, they control the entertainment industry, they control everything, okay. It says the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Asher also join with them, which is what the so-called Africans, man. Okay, they're not our people. Okay, they come out the line of Shem. All right, Ham. They come out the line of Ham. Okay, them Africans, man. All right, and we come out the line of Shem. Okay, so it says it's also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot Salah. All right, so yeah, they're against us, man. All right, the scriptures is plain and clear, man. You can't get around it. Okay, and it's not based off of looks. Okay, this is once again, I'm mentioning this. This is not a color thing, man. All right, this is not a color thing. This is a nationality thing. This is a bloodline. You can read Numbers 1:18. Okay, you are what your father is. All right, Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. Your nationality is determined by who your father is, man. Okay. All right. So here we have this rapper. All right, this is in Japan. All right, his name is Alco. Okay, it's a Japanese Mexican hip hop artist. All right, you go down here. Okay, it says born in Tokyo. It says and raised in Mexico. He is half Mexican with Japanese mother and a Mexican father. All right, so this is an Israelite. There's no such thing as half. You are what your father is. Okay, it's not hard. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he comes in with his false science. I'm talking about the chromosomes, the Y chromosome, and this and that and the third, and it makes half you 65%. No. All right, the scriptures is plain, man. All right, you are what your father is. All right, you could take an apple seed, you could plant it anywhere in the earth, and it's always gonna come up as an apple seed. All right, the man is the seed, the woman is the earth. You are what your father is. It's that simple. Okay, there is just another reason why the Lord is going to destroy America, man. He's going to destroy America. He's going to destroy you so-called white people. He's going to put you in captivity. And the Lord is going to do a complete genocide on you people, man. Okay? So let's get this. Let's get this right here. All right, so this is Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15. It says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket. All right, so the Lord compared these other nations as a drop, like a drop of water that falleth from a bucket. It says, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. So you're like dust. You're like one speck of dust, all right, out in the midst of sand. All right, that's what the Lord compared you other nations to. It says, behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, which means what? You don't really matter. All right, you don't matter. He says, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. It says, all nations before him are as nothing. Or it says, they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. It says, to whom then will ye liken the Most High, or to what likeness will ye compare unto him? Now you may sit up here and say, oh, well, the Lord said all nations, that includes us too. No, it's going to get specific. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 57. It says, and now, O Lord, behold, Salakia, we'll start at verse 54. It says, and after these, Adam also, all right, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. So yeah, we all come out of Adam. All nations, we all come out of Adam, all right, which is a so-called black man, all right. So stop them foolish bullshit lies that you got in your churches, all them damn so-called white people, all right, on your images on your wall. Okay, no, he was a so-called black man, Adam. All right, from the dust of the ground. The dust is what? Brown. Okay, different shades of brown. All right, so Adam was a so-called black man. It says, of him come we all, and the people also who thou hast chosen, which is what? The Israelites. That's us. It says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. So this whole planet, okay, was made for us, the Israelites. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord made the planet for us. Okay? It says, as for the other people, which is what? The other nations, okay? That's what, not on that sign. It says, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. It says, but be like unto spittle, which is what? Spit. All right, so the Lord is compared you people to spit, man. You like spit that comes out the Lord's mouth, man. It says, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel, which what goes back to Isaiah 40. All right, it links up. Okay, that's how you read the scriptures. Read precept upon precept. Here a little and there a little. Okay, that's how it's read, man. That's how the scriptures are read. You got to put the pieces together. Okay, so um, it says that followed from a vessel. It says, and now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. And that's what you're doing. Okay, let me get a screenshot here, man. That's exactly what you're doing. All right, you see this photo right here? Okay, that's exactly what you're doing. You see this photo right here? This is us. All right, Yasharala. All right, which is in the Paleo Hebrew means Israel. Okay, Yasharala. And this is you other nations, man. All right, devouring us. Wolves. Taking advantage of us, using us, calling us names, doing all kinds of wickedness upon us. All right, the Lord is going to destroy you people, man. Okay, so it says what? It says, have been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. It says, but we thy people, it says, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, and are given into their hands. So yes, going back to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the Lord said he sent a nation against us. Okay, and the Lord sent us he scattered us among all nations. Okay, for a punishment. Okay, so we're given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Exactly. You Israelites, you begging for reparations. All right, that's not gonna happen. The Lord is gonna give you your reparations. What? Through Him. All right. The Lord is gonna have to destroy America. He's gonna have to destroy these other nations. Okay, they're going into captivity. All right, so everything they did to us, we're gonna do to them. Okay, that's what the Lord's gonna do. All right, so I'm trying to give you as much information as possible, because there's a lot that you need to know. Okay, but one thing that you should know and take from this lesson is that yes, you're the Israelites. You're above all people, the greatest people on earth. All right, and your job is to keep the commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, so when the Lord returns, He doesn't destroy you. That includes your children. That includes a woman, man. Don't matter your status. The Lord don't care about that. All right. If you're not right, the Lord gonna destroy you, man. Okay. And the Lord's getting ready to make His second return. All right. And the Lord is going to destroy America through thermonuclear missiles. Okay. And the Lord is going to destroy these other countries via the chariots, the so-called UFOs, man. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say there. So it says, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Yeah, we don't have nothing. It says, how long shall this endure? Okay. Okay, so let's get this. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 5. It says, there is an evil which I have seen under the sun, which is what? The earth is under the sun. It says, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Okay, and who's in rulership? We're in the rulership of the Edomites. All right, modern day Rome, modern day Greeks. Okay, all right. So we're under the Edomites, so-called white man. He's the ruler. All right. So it says, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler. Okay, and in these Edomites, the so-called white man has the whole world in error. All right, by your lifestyle and how you live. All right, that's why everything's so darn jacked up. Feminism, all right, lesbianism, homosexuality, and all kinds of mess going on. Drug use, that comes from the rulers. They push that. All right, so they got the whole earth in error. You know why? Because they're not keeping the commandments or following anything in this book. Okay. So it says folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. Who are the rich? Or you can read that in the book of Revelation. It says, I know thy poverty, thy tribulation and thy poverty. All right. But thou art rich. Okay. And how are we rich? All right. Through the scriptures, we have this knowledge. All right. This knowledge makes us rich. Okay. Just to paraphrase, I'm not going to get it. You can look it up yourself. It says, and the rich sit in a low place, which means what? We're the lowest of the low. Okay, we're not looked at as great. We're looked at as pieces of crap. We're low. It says, I have seen servants upon horses. Okay, and who are the servants? The other nations. All right, you were made to serve. Okay, the Lord created you, other nations, to serve us. All right, we were supposed to be the gods of the earth. Okay, but since we disobeyed the Lord, all right, the Lord, what he did is he put all the other nations above us. All right, and now we're the servants. Okay, so it says, I have seen servants upon horses, which the horses represents power, rulership. So they're ruling over us, and they're supposed to be the servants. It says, and princes, all right, which is us. We're the princes, we're the kings. It says, walking as servants upon the earth. Okay, you see that? That's what's going on right now. All right. Okay, and you can see it right here. All right, during slavery. All right, servant. All right, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, he's a servant. All right, he's not a prince or a king. The Lord put him above us. Okay, and these are the princes, which is us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as servants. All right, because we don't have nothing. Everything that we want, we have to go to what? These people, these other nations. All right, for everything. You see? All right. And then also there was another word in there that said revile. What is the definition of revile? Okay, it says criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner. So yeah, in other words, we always been insulted, talked about, laughed at, ridiculed. All right, let's get it. Let's get deeper on that. Okay, revile. Okay, to use abusive language, rail. All right, scold, upbraid, berate. All right, nigger, spick, wetback, porch monkey. All right, you're lazy. All right, you don't want to work. You know, you're ignorant, niggers. You see? Mean to reproach, angrily and abusively, scold, implies rebuking and irritation or ill tempered, justly or unjustly, which is obviously unjustly. Okay? It says implies censoring on definite and usually justifiable grounds, but it's not justifiable. All right? It's unjust. You see? So let's look at this. Revile implies a scurrilous, abusive attack promoted by anger or hatred. All right? KKK, Ku Klux Klan. All right? Marching up down the street with fucking torches and pitchforks. Calling you niggas, shooting at your houses, lighting it up with bullets, hanging, lynching, burning. Okay? Calling you all kinds of names. That's what that is. Revile. Okay? So let's look at this. There's another one. Revile. This is the etymology, which means origin of a word. It says morally repugnant, morally flawed, corrupt, wicked. It says of no value. You see that? So we're looked at as no value. Nobody cares about us. All right? We're the lowest of the low. All right? Everybody hates our guts. Nobody wants to hire us. Nobody wants us around. So we're looked at as no value. It says what? Of inferior quality. Don't the so-called white man thinks he's above us and that we're inferior? So whenever he sees, a so-called black man as a samurai, all right, as the protagonist in the in this video game, guess what? They looking at you as inferior. They don't like that. They don't like seeing that. All they look at you as is just a servant. You see, even the Star Wars movies, these modern Star Wars movies. What was his name? I'm trying to get it. All right, Finn, the guy that played Finn in Star Wars. Disney reportedly thought a Finn Rey romance in Star Wars was too risky. You know, they cut him off. He was supposed to be the protagonist. All right, he was supposed to be a Jedi. All right, in the Star Wars movie. All right, Finn. It says Star Wars writer Alan Dean Foster. Disney told me to remove Finn and Rey romance, and then on top of that, they pushed Finn as the background character. All right, And Alistair Dean, he said it. He said that you know the reason why they didn't want Finn as a Jedi. It's because of racism. All right, they were threatening to boycott it. All right, or just like Mortal Kombat. What about that? I think it was Mortal Kombat 9 when that came out. When you played as Jax, what happened at the end when you played uh when you beat the what was it, the arcade mode? When you beat the arcade mode, Jax, what did he do? He went back in time and freed the slaves. And what happened? People didn't like it. You see that? So let's look at this. It says boycott Star Wars. Uh, was it 7? It says movement launched. Movie called Anti-White. You see that, man? So the Lord, hey man, the Lord gonna destroy you other nations, man. Okay, let's get it. Let's get that, man. Okay, so this is Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 8. Verse 5. All right, so this is Zechariah chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, for I, saith the Lord, will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Who is this talking about? All right, this is talking about America. It says, ho, ho, come forth. It says, and flee from the land of the north. Now, is it talking about physically fleeing from what? North, which is what, America? No, not physically, spiritually. Get your mind out this damn place, man. All right. You follow America, and I'm going to show you what you're going to end up like. All right. You follow the ways of America. This is going to be you right here. All right. You a damn fat ass. All right. You got weird, strange colors in your damn head, looking like a goddamn Sesame Street character. You got all kinds of fucking tattoos when the scriptures told you not to make markings upon thyself. Okay. You got all kinds of piercings, looking wild and bugged out and crazy. You're a damn fat ass homosexual. This is going to be you. This is America in a nutshell, man. All right, the scriptures say to flee from Babylon, get out of the world. Okay, because what does it mean by that? Getting out of the world is talking about its ways, its philosophies, its doctrines, its religions. All right, keep your mind focused on the scriptures, man. Okay, because if you don't, you're gonna end up like this on suicide watch, bugging the fuck out. All right, and that's the majority of you damn women. Okay, you hate men. I'm a feminist. I'm this. I'm that. You didn't learn that from the scriptures. You learned that from these darn devils, man. Okay, so as the scripture say right here, Jeremiah 15:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon, which is what America round about. It says, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, which is going into what? The missiles, nuclear missiles. All right, because the Lord is going to make it to where America's going to go to World War III. All these nations going to be fighting each other down there in the Middle East. Okay, and the bows is talking about what? The launch pad. Okay, and what it says, shoot at her is spare no arrows, and them arrows are the missiles. Okay, it's like an arrow. The arch is arched. All right, it shoots off, and then it makes an arch and lands. Okay, for she has sinned against the Lord. So there you go. It's that simple. All right, so going back here, it says, flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord, for I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the earth, which going back to Deuteronomy, the Lord had scattered us among all nations. Okay, it says what during the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, it says, saith the Lord, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Now, how do you deliver yourself? Through the scriptures, man. Okay, repent, change your ways. How do you be born again? Right, by changing your ways. You gotta cast off everything that you learned in America and put on the armor of the Most High, which is the word, the knowledge of the scriptures, man. Okay, and how do you learn that? Through the prophets. All right, GMS, Great Millstone. That's what that stands for. Apostle Street Ministry. And there's hundreds of channels out there, thousands. Brothers all over the earth are preaching. Okay. All right, but I'll tell you personally, stick with Great Millstone. Stay away from these other camps, man. Okay, because they're not right. All right. So let's go back here. So it says, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon, because that's where we at. We at America, which is Babylon the Great. And Babylon goes back to the word Babel, which means confusion. So this is a land of confusion. I already showed you that during picture of that fat lesbian, all right, with all kinds of piercings and shit all on her. You know why? Because she's confused. That's exactly where you're gonna end up if you trust in this place, man. So it says, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you." All right, so we're a spoiled nation. We don't have nothing. Everything was stolen. Okay, let's get a example of that. Okay, so let's get an example of that. All right, this damn red she devil, man. What's her darn name? Yeah, this bitch right here, man. It says, "Well, damn, did you know Queen Elizabeth II owns a carriage weighing more than 4 tons, made of solid gold, stolen from Africa centuries ago?" You see that? So they took all of our wealth, they took all of our customs, they took all of our culture, all right, and they took it upon themselves and they created their own religions. They created, you know, basically a culture based around our culture, all right, which is what in the scriptures, all right, waking up early in the early hours, getting the day started, being on time, being punctual, okay, being disciplined, okay, all right, and all those good qualities that comes from us, man, okay, not these other nations. They stole that, okay, reduced us to nothing. Now all we looked at is just niggas, spicks, and wetbacks. We don't want to work. We don't love nobody. We're just hateful. We're evil. We're dirty. Okay, so on and so forth. That's what they reduced us into. You see? All right. All right. So they spoiled us, and it says, "For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of his eye." So the Lord said, "Whoever touches you touches the apple of his eye." You see that? So let's read on. It says, "For behold, I will shake mine hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants." So the Lord is going to spoil you other nations. And it's already beginning to happen. All right. Just the reason why he's sending them earthquakes. All right. He's sending them tornadoes. Okay. Hail. All right. A lot of you people dying. The Lord did that, man. It says, "And ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me." Okay. So there's just a little bit there, man. All right. So all right, so let's get a couple more. Right, so the Lord is coming back for vengeance. The Lord is not playing, man. Okay, the Lord's going. You gonna pay. You other nations, you gonna pay for everything that you did unto us, man. All right, all the lies, the deception. All right, the bloodshed, the hatred. The Lord is going to jack you nations up. Okay, so this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drop down new wine, and the hills shall flow with milk, and all the rivers of Judah shall flow with waters." Okay, which is going to what us being changed. All right, us having this truth as well. Okay, that's the water, which is the truth, this word. It says, "And a fountain shall come forth out of the house of the Lord, and shall water the valley of Shittim." It says, "Egypt," all right, which is America, "shall be a desolation." All right, and Edom, all right, so-called white man, "shall be a desolate wilderness." So the Lord's going to exterminate you people. It says, "For the violence against the children of Judah," all right, slavery, transatlantic slave trade, even to this day. It says, "Because they have shed innocent blood in their land," which is what America. All right. It says, "But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion." So the Lord is with us. Okay. So the Lord said he's going to cleanse our blood. Let's read up. How is he going to do it? All right. So this is it right here. Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, "I will gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat," which is what? In the Middle East. So the Lord is going to have you people gather up in the Middle East. All right. You're already seeing it now. All right. You're seeing Iran and Israel going at it. Okay. It says, "And will plead with them for my people." So the Lord's going to cause this to happen. You know why? For his people. All right. For what you did to the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says, "And for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So yeah, we were scattered. It says, and they have cast lots for my people. All right, which is what being sold, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Okay. It says, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? All right, which is going to the Africans, so-called Africans. All right, which is the Hamites. All right, that's their biblical nationality, Ham, and all the coast of Palestine. Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. All right, and recompense me to pay back. So the Lord's going to pay you back for what you did. So as it says here, verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly and pleasant things. And that's what you saw in this photo here, man. Right here. You see? She took it. Stolen. All right. They stole from Haiti. All right. Stealing all the oil and the resources. You know, you got Trump talking about it's a shithole third world country, but they stole all the riches. They stole the oil. They stole the gold. All right. And they took it over here. They stole it. All right. And that's what these Edomites do, man. Okay. So it says, because ye have taken my silver and gold and carried it into your temples, my goodly and pleasant things, the children also of Judah and children of Jerusalem, you so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, all right, you were put in captivity too. They don't talk about the so-called Native Americans being put in captivity. They don't really talk about so-called Hispanics being put in captivity. They don't really talk about that. You'll never see it in a history book, because they're lying. All right, they want to keep that hidden, trying to keep us separated from each other, man. But the Lord said He's going to put us back together. Okay, so it says, the children of Judah also, Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. Who are the Grecians? The so-called white man. All right, these so-called white people. It says that ye might remove them far from their border. Okay, which was from Israel. How do we know that? Let's get it. All right, let's get it. How do we know that? All right, so this is a book. This is from Babylon to Timbuktu. You can buy this, all right, on Amazon or wherever you want to buy it from. It says a history of ancient black races, including the black Hebrews, okay, which we all know you're not black, all right? So this is page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state, all right, which goes back to Psalms 83, talking about how the remembrance of Israel shall be no more, okay, with great slaughter. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. All right, and then he gave a scripture, Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. So it matches up, man. Okay, so you people, man, you don't know. Okay, now I don't really talk about these controversies because it's stupid, man. All right, so it says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Okay, so the Lord said He's going to raise us up. Okay, and how is He going to do that? He's doing it right now. We're raising up. Okay, everywhere you go, in all your states, all your cities, brothers is on the street corners preaching the word. Okay, and really chanting this place to fall, and it's falling. We're seeing it. Inflation, all right, civil war, that's spoken of in the scriptures. Okay, kingdom against kingdom, nation against nation. Okay, and World War III is coming too. All right, the mark of the beast, that's coming. They're talking about the end of the dollar by October. All right, by October, it's going to be a digital currency. So let's read on. It says, verse 8, it says, Salakia, it's verse 7. It says, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. So He's going to pay you back. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to the people afar off, for the Lord hath spoken it. You see that? There you go, man. So verse 9, let's read on. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, all right, which is what you heathens. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up, all right? And that's in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right? These other nations, they're not spending money into the economy, all right? They're putting their money into military might, all right? They're making missiles, all right? That's what they're doing. So the Lord said, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. So no agriculture, no economic growth. No, into swords, which is what war, which is what nuclear missiles, guns, all right, chemical warfare. It says, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. So yeah, all these other nations, all right, that were weak, like Russia, China, Africa, what else? Iran. All right, those were weaker nations before, and now they're saying what? I am strong. How are they doing that? Because they're nuclear capable now. All right, America putting sanctions on these other nations, and they're not even listening to them. All right, they're doing deals with each other behind closed doors and leaving America out. All right, that's why you have something called BRICS. Okay, Britain, Iran, Russia, okay, China, all right, you know, and these other nations gathering up together. Okay, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let all the heathen be wakened and come down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is what? The Middle East. It says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, I'm not going to read too much on that. I'm going to stop it right here. I think I made my point. Okay, I made my point. I'm going to stop it right here. This lesson is going to be way too long. But the point being is that, all right, this Assassin's Creed game, this all is woke. No, it's not. It's not woke. Okay? 1597 is when this game takes place. You go back here, the transatlantic slave trade took place in 1526 to 1867, which is actually to this day. It hasn't ended. It's still in effect. They just industrialized it. All right? Because the elites plan on enslaving the whole world anyway. All right? They're going to be the top. All right? They're going to be the gods of the earth, so to speak, and everybody else is going to be slaves. All right? Which is not going to come to fruition because the Lord is going to come back and he's going to destroy them. All right? So, all right, you get the point. That's all you need to know. I'm going to leave it off there. I hope this was edifying unto the elect. All right, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakak Radash. All right, Shalom.